Election Day, that the state of the race would look a certain way, and then the following day and in the coming days, as those absentee votes from especially the major metro areas started to come in, that the race would shift, and that is indeed what happened. And at this point, Donald Trump is significantly behind Joe Biden. He won the state in 2016 by less than 11,000 votes, and Joe Biden now leads by about 150,000 votes here. Savannah, Joe.
All right, Dasha in Grand Rapids, thank you so much.
Let's go now to a state that hasn't been called, Arizona, where votes are still being counted and the race is getting even tighter. Joe Biden holding on to his slim lead, but it is still too close to call with 90% of that vote in. NBC News correspondent Gadi Schwartz is back with us now from Scottsdale, Arizona. Hey, Gadi. So we received news out of a few counties overnight, including the Phoenix area. Tell us about that and what we're still waiting on.
Yeah, it's the all-important Maricopa County is that the Phoenix area, and we saw about 75,000 ballots come in last night. And of those ballots, it looks like President Trump slowly but surely is catching up to that lead that Joe Biden had very early on. At this point, we saw that lead that Joe Biden has shrink from about 69,000 ballots to about 47,000 ballots. So the president is making progress, and all of this is becoming quite a nail biter, guys.
So, Gadi, when are we expecting the next vote tallies, especially in Maricopa County?
That's that big question, and we still don't know when we're going to see the end of these ballots counted here in Arizona, but we understand that the next batches should be dropping right around at 9 o'clock local time, which is 11 o'clock your guys' time, and that's what we're looking at, about 75,000 ballots coming in each one of these batches. So in terms of when we could see the rest of those ballots counted, we're still about 300,000 ballots out. It could be into this weekend before we have a concrete decision on this race.
And Gadi, let's now talk for a second before we let you go about the Arizona Senate special election for just a moment here. Former astronaut and Democrat Mark Kelly taking on Republican incumbent Martha McSally. We've all been wondering what's going to happen with the Senate, as we knew that Democrats needed 3 seats without the White House with the White House 4 without. What's the latest in that race?
This is a really interesting race because as you look at the numbers, you can kind of see the independent spirit of Arizona. So you've got Martha McSally, who is down ballot from President Trump. Right now, she needs about 100,000 votes to catch up with Mark. So you're talking about President Trump having that 46,000 votes that he needs to catch up to Joe Biden, and Martha McSally 100 votes down. That means that people voted for President Trump but did not vote for Martha McSally, which is very interesting here in Arizona, but it's not necessarily out of the ordinary. Another time that I can think of that showed that independent spirit here is when Arizona voted for President Trump, but they voted against Joe Arpaio. So you do see some of these splits. You do see people zigzagging along the ballot. But at this point, that race is still too close to call. We're still about 300,000 ballots out. And that lead that Mark Kelly has right now is about 100,000 votes. Guys, back to you.
Gadi, thank you so much for your reporting. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Sure.
Let's get a check now on the markets as we wait for more vote counts.
And we also have breaking news about the unemployment rate. CNBC's Bertha Coombs joins us now. Hey there, Bertha.
Yeah, the count on jobs a lot better than expected. The economy created 638,000 jobs in October. That was a lot more than analysts were looking for. The unemployment rate slipping down to 6.9%. We saw 900,000 private sector jobs led by 278,000 in leisure and hospitality, 100,000 in retail, and 84,000 in construction. On the other side, 268,000 jobs lost in the government sector. The markets right now have trimmed their losses. It looks like we're going to open just slightly in the red. The Dow and S&P are up 7% for the week. The Nasdaq nearly 9%. Investors are watching the count as well. They still are thinking that it's going to be the White House taken by Biden, and we'll see a Senate held on by the Republicans. But of course, as these number counts drag on and potentially seeing runoffs in Georgia, that equation may be changing as well. So we'll see how the day comes out. But again, much better jobs report than expected. Back over to you.
Bertha, thank you so much.
Coming up, we've got an expert panel of political analysts to break down all of the latest numbers out of battleground states across the country. Stick around.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you. Whether you're back to school.
What do you guys think? We're excited?
Or back to work. We're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail. At the center of this campaign, coronavirus.
The story.
The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race.
From every angle.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
The winds fanning these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you. Whether you're back to school.
What do you guys think? We're excited?
Or back to work. We're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Well, the spread of fake news was a major concern leading up to the election. Experts say they've seen no evidence of major misinformation campaigns having gained traction on Election Day. On Thursday, though, Facebook shut down pro-Trump operatives who were coordinating viral events under the guise of hashtag Stop the Steal, some of them calling for violence. NBC News investigative reporter Brandy Zadrozny has been digging into all of this. So, Brandy, good to see you. First of all, who created this group and what was the main objective?
Hi, thanks for having me on. So this group started as a pro-Trump organization, this group Women for America First, but it quickly sort of morphed or grew into a cast of characters we've grown really accustomed to at anti-lockdown protests and pro-gun protests, really conservative causes also, like there's one group, We Build the Wall, which is a Steve Bannon-linked organization that's at the center of a federal criminal case now. So, but the group's goal is really different depending on what event you're going to. So in Arizona, they're asking that, you know, people come out and protest to count all the votes. And in Michigan and Pennsylvania, they want people to stop counting, which is to say that their goal is really the president's goal, which is to get Trump in a place where somehow he wins the presidency. And they're really relying on baseless rumors about, you know, the supposed rigging of the election to get there.
Now, Brandy, we know that sometimes Facebook has been criticized with their responses to things like this, with how they're handling either removing things or not removing things or not doing enough. What was